I'm delighted. I'm delighted for the team, I'm delighted for the officers involved, and I'm delighted for the community.
And I understand that he did, from the trial we've learned, that he did an awful lot of the offending on the night. Would you say that he was the principal troublemaker?
He was one of them. He was our priority on day one. He was visible over many scenes. As you're aware, the evidence presented to the court showed a compilation of 34 minutes of Ryan Roberts committing offences, arson, theft, damage, assaults, and basically rioting. He was a key principal offender for us. He was there for many hours.
And how difficult was the investigation? Talk us through the investigation. First of all, to find him, to put that footage together, to show the court, the jury, what he did. What type of investigation was that for you and your team?
The investigation was huge. It was massive. Just to give you an example of that, there was over 700 hours of mobile CCTV. There was more than 250 downloads from members of the public on their mobile phones, as well as online downloads, as well as body-worn cameras for the officers. So bringing all that together was substantial. And actually bringing that all together in an evidential chain for each individual, again, took meticulous work. And as you know, Roberts is a key offender. He's the first one to stand a not guilty trial from the 21st of March. And what stands behind Roberts is a trail of evidence, legitimate evidence, substantiated with a 34-minute compilation for the jurors to see. So it was a huge piece of work for us, and one we're very proud of. And today, Roberts is an example of that.
This was one of the biggest investigations, if not the biggest investigation that Avon and Somerset Police have ever done.
Exactly that, very much so. Because of the events, how they unfolded on the night, they unfolded from a peaceful protest to a riot, to officers being assaulted due to the amount of people there. And within those people, there's approximately 3,000 people there, but only about 100 are really doing wrongdoings. So trying to identify them, it was complex, it is huge, and like you said, it's one of the biggest in our history.
I mean, what happened took place outside this building. So in that respect, was the investigation even more important for you in the police, or did you treat this as a typical investigation? How atypical or how typical was this as an investigation?
This was a large investigation. It was naturally not typical because there was 44 victims who were police officers, but there's a clear distinction between the two. The 44 victims of the assaults were cared for, there's a welfare package and we supported them. The investigation concentrated solely on objective paramount evidence for each individual to identify who they were and the wrongdoing they committed, and the public helped us with those identifications.
Is this a kind of investigation for you that's going to be something career defining? You're going to look back on this and think, this is a good day for yourself as a police officer?
It's something I'm very proud of, but actually it's all shadowed by the events on the 21st of March. I sat at home watching the online feeds as my colleagues were on the front line outside here being assaulted. So actually there's a real desire to bring those offenders to justice, but actually what we really need to concentrate on is their offending, the evidence behind that, and with our key partner, CPS, bring them to justice.
And we've got the first person now gone through a not guilty trial. Is your team still working hard behind the scenes to just to bring more footage together, to bring more footage to then be given to the CPS?
Yeah, exactly that. We've arrested 82 people, and we've charged beyond 30 people now. There's still a wave of 10 more people yet to go to the CPS. We've prioritised based on the key offending, like you said about Mr. Roberts, and actually we've got more charges for riot, more charges coming. We haven't finished yet. There's still more than 30 people on our website yet to be identified. So we've got a cohort of people who've committed offences, but we haven't finished yet.